everybody, my name is Fairy or the Hedge Witch, and welcome back to my sacred space. I am super sorry if I look or sound a mess today. I'm super stressed out because of some life events. When you guys are seeing this, I should hopefully have an update either uploaded already or on the way, so keep an eye out for that if you guys are interested. So I actually filmed this video like 3 weeks ago, and I accidentally messed up the audio. It was usable. I still had my backup audio from my camera that I could use, but I just felt like I was all over the place in that video. So this time I have a list of things that I need to talk about on my phone. So this video I think is going to be a little bit long, so I'm going to stop the jibber jabber and get straight to the point. So today I'm going to be talking about something that is a very integral part of my witchcraft practice, and that is a bath ritual. This one specifically, you guys may have heard me talk about my friend and mentor Wes or Wesley, and this is something that they introduced me to years ago, the whole idea of this specific ritual. And I've kind of taken their idea that they gave me and just absolutely bastardized it. I'm also a very avid viewer of Harmony Nice here on YouTube, and she fairly recently uploaded a mindful skincare video, and I already did some skincare with this ritual anyway, but I kind of implemented some of those ideas into this, so it's really just a mash of 3 different people's stuff all into one. For me, it works really well, so let's get into it. So Wesley had dubbed this the Pink Goddess Bath Ritual. The whole intent and purpose behind this ritual is number 1 for self-love. This is a cleansing ritual as well because it is a bath ritual, and there's also a body scrub in it, which really helps with cleansing. But with the pink motif, most of the things that I use, I have them down here, in the bath are all pink items specifically. If you do follow any goddess deities or have any feminine spirits that you may want to connect more with or spend some time with, this could also be a good time to have some solid meditation time with that deity or spirit. Please absolutely feel free to adapt this to fit your own craft. I'm going to kind of give you guys some different ideas for different ways that you could change this up depending on what your needs are. I've done this a million different ways because I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now, and I'm sure there's a million other ways that you can do it as well. So for timing for this ritual, you can really do it whenever you like. Personally, with weekday correspondences, I prefer to do mine on Sunday as kind of a nice reset and relaxing time on a Sunday night. I would recommend doing this on a night when you know that you're going to have time alone. If you have roommates, it might be good to tell them that you're going to be taking a bath and to leave you alone. And also on a night when you're done with house chores, you don't have anything to do, you're not going out. You really want to do this ritual and then have downtime afterwards, preferably alone, but whatever you can muster. So what you are going to need for this ritual, this is a bath ritual, so you will need a bathtub. If you don't have one, I'm sure you can adapt this in some way to be a shower ritual or something like that. I don't really have any tips on that because I've pretty much always had a bathtub in my craft. You're going to need a couple things for your bath, so I like to use Epsom salt. We'll kind of get into the specifics later on, but for now I like to use Epsom salt, and I also like to use a sugar scrub in this ritual. Any other sort of additives you want to put into your bath, you could use energized water. I've used rose water, different herbs, crystals that are safe in water. Make sure that if you want to use crystals, you double check online to see if that crystal is going to dissolve into the water if you put it in. You'll need some candles, incense, basic witchy stuff. A lot of this you can swap out if you can't burn candles. Y'all know how to do this, right? And then for the skincare, you're going to want your usual facial cleanser, whatever your skincare routine is. For me, I have a cleanser, an exfoliator, a toner, and a moisturizer. And then I also use an essential oil roller, not on my face, that's for something else. and skin oil, one of those little massage roller things. Again, I'll show this all later. And some facial spray. Again, I don't know if I've said this enough, but like you can totally just change this out to fit whatever you have or whatever you want to use. Onto the procedure section of this lab report. So the very first thing I do when I'm doing this ritual is I grab some incense, I light it up, and I'll give whatever bathroom I'm using a quick cleanse. This is especially good to do if you have like a shared bathroom that other family members or roommates are also using. A really good scent to use for this would be rose incense. I personally don't really like floral scents, so my favorite incense lately has been sandalwood. I also really like dragon's blood, green tea, cypress, and currently I'm burning this. I don't really know what the moon is supposed to smell like, but I really like it. If you think after this ritual you're going to be doing any sort of spell work or anything like that, I would recommend casting a circle. Usually when I do this ritual, it's on a day when I don't really have a lot of energy, so I just do the ritual and I don't cast a circle, but again, just feel free to adapt this to your own uses. For candles, I usually like to bring in a 3-wick candle from Bath & Body Works and a couple little tea lights. These are the little tea light guys that I use. I got these in like 100 pack from Target a few years ago. And then for the bigger 3-wick candles, the tea lights are unscented, but these are scented, so they just look like this. My favorite one actually for this ritual is eucalyptus mint scent. It's like very invigorating. It smells like a spa. If you really want to get into the color correspondence though, you could use a pink candle like this or something rose scented again. And I'll kind of show you here how I like to arrange my candles around my bath. I like to take my baths with the lights off and then just the candles providing light. And as I have everything getting set up, I like to run my bath during that. Of course, I like my bath water to be like super hot. While that's running, that's when you are going to want to add your Epsom salt. So for this ritual, I use the Dr. Teal's Pink Himalayan Mineral Soak. Technically, it's not Epsom salt, but like, it's close enough. It says on here it smells like bergamot and sweet orange essential oils. I don't really know what bergamot smells like. I suppose it smells like this. I have gone through at least a dozen bags of this in my life. I love this stuff so much. For that, you're going to want to put 2 cups into your bath. And during adding all of these items, you'll really want to make sure that you're keeping that intent of self-love in mind. A lot of the times during my baths, I really like to add charged water to them, as I mentioned earlier. I usually keep back here in this clear jar right here, I keep moon water, which I set outside overnight on the night of the full moon. You could also use like rainwater, storm water, like something from a lake or a river, anything like that that has been energized. This time around, I felt like I needed a little extra kick in the ass for the self-love side of things, so I added some rose water. This I got from my local witchcraft store. And you can also add any herbs that you want. Sometimes to this I will add these rose petals. I didn't do that tonight, but you are totally welcome to do so. My roommate, if she's doing an herb bath, she will put them in like a little sachet or like a tea bag, and then just like soak the tea bag in the bath with her. And that's really helpful because then you don't get herbs all over your bathtub. They can be really difficult to like really get all off of the tub, so I think that's like a really big brain idea. And before I get in, I don't have super long hair, but I really like to get my bangs out of my face with this little cat ear headband. This is from Ulta like years ago, and once my bath is full, I just submerge myself, and I just enjoy the feeling of the nice hot water on my skin, feeling my spirit guides in the room with me, or my deities and things like that. I also usually listen to music during this. You can do that if you like. If you don't want to, that's also totally cool. I personally like to listen to lo-fi hip-hop. That's usually what I listen to when I'm doing any sort of spell work, but again, you can do whatever makes you happy. And I chill in there for quite a while. Usually I'll kind of do like some meditation, make sure you don't fall asleep so you don't drown. And then close to when I'm ready to get out, I will grab my body scrub. The body scrub I use is this guy. This is the Tree Hut Shea Sugar Scrub in Moroccan Rose scent. It looks like this. It is totally a forbidden snack. I want to eat it really badly. For whatever reason, this scent specifically, I have a really difficult time finding. They almost never carry it at Walmart in my area, which like is where I usually have the most luck finding it. This one I found at Target most recently, so hopefully you guys can find it too if you want it. To me, it isn't like super rose scented. It's pretty sweet, and it is definitely floral, but it's almost a little bit citrusy too. I'm not really sure how to describe it. I'm not good at describing scents. If I can't find this one, there is a different pink sugar scrub by this brand. It's like a vitamin E or vitamin C scrub or something. I don't like that one as much. I have it in my closet. I use it if I'm really in a pinch, but this one is my all-time favorite. And I just like to use the scrub on my arms and legs, and sometimes my chest as well if it's pimply and broken out. And while I'm doing the scrub, I really envision myself scrubbing off all of the like self-hatred and negativity and just bad energy that is clinging onto me. And of course, you'll definitely want to rinse this off very well. Aside from not wanting to be sticky from the sugar scrub, you also want to make sure that you're getting rid of that negative energy. After that, I'll go ahead and get out of the bath. I don't usually stay in it very long after I finish rinsing my sugar scrub. So the first thing I do after I get out is I wash my face in the sink. I don't have any footage of this part because I literally could not find a camera angle in my bathroom. So you'll just have to imagine it. What I use for my face wash stuff, again, this is just my regular face wash, so it's not pink and cute, but I use the Lemon Gel Cleanser by Clean & Clear. I have very extreme combination skin. I actually have psoriasis and eczema, which are both chronic dry skin conditions, and at the same time my T-zone, which is here and here, will get very oily, and I also get hormonal acne pretty badly on my chin. So it's just a cluster. So this stuff really cuts through the grease, which is awesome for my breakouts, but then it will dry out my skin a little bit. So you'll see later on I have a super heavy duty moisturizer. So I do my cleanser, and then I come in with the matching little exfoliating scrub thing. And then after I have that all rinsed off, I go in with my toner. I'm not too like tied to this toner. This is my first bottle of it. I might try to change it when I run out of this and try a different one, but this is Versed Weekend Glow Daily Brightening Solution. I do like it. It's not terrible or anything, but I'm not like deeply in love with it. And to apply that, I actually have reusable little cotton rounds. I think they're bamboo or something. They're really nice, so instead of having the cotton ones that you throw away, these ones you can put in the washing machine and then you can use them again, which is really cool. And then my moisturizer, I am very deeply in love with. This is the Bliss Drench and Quench. I can never say this name correctly. Bliss Drench and Quench Cream to Water Hydrator. So this is the blue one. They also have one that's white. I've tried that one and I hate it. So that stuff is insane. It like moisturizes the crap out of my skin. I love it so much. But when you put it on, it really does go from like a cream feeling into like a light liquid feeling on your face. So it's not heavy, it doesn't clog my pores, but it does like really kick ass at moisturizing. The white formula of this is called water cream, which is very confusing because this one is called cream to water. I do not like the water cream. That one feels more like a lotion almost, and I really didn't like how that felt on my face. But this, I've gone through like at least 4 tubs of this. I love it so much. That was a skincare tangent, so let's get back on topic. The next most important step is to pet my cat Flan. He is always waiting in the hallway for me because he's not allowed to come in while I'm taking a bath, so do not skip this step. Pet your cat. So once I head back into my room, I'll sit down at my altar and I'll light some fresh incense for the second skincare part of this ritual. I'll also usually light up my altar candles or any other like candles that I want to have going. So the first thing I do when I'm at my altar is I take this essential oil blend roller that I have, and I'll rub that onto my wrists and onto my collarbone area. It just smells really nice. The one I'm using specifically is by Rocky Mountain Oils, and it is their root chakra scent. This was sent to me when I used to do the Lunarly subscription box. Personally, I prefer not to buy products that have to do with chakras and things like that, because a lot of people of color have come out talking about how white people using chakras in their practice is cultural appropriation, and I just have never really felt like the whole chakra thing is something that I'm supposed to be using in my practice, so I do not. So to me, this is just an essential oil blend that smells nice. After that, I will apply facial oil to my face. I am using the DR Botanicals Moroccan Rose Superfood Facial Oil. This does have almond oil in it, so if you're allergic to nuts like me, be careful with this one. Personally, I'm hardly allergic to almonds, which is a vast contrast from my other nut allergies to like walnuts and stuff, so this was fine for me. I did test it on my wrists before I used it on my face, but I'll just drop a little bit on my face, and then I like to use this little rose quartz roller thingy, massage roller. And this again is really good for that self-love and Pink Goddess TM brand for this ritual. So I'll sit there for a while and roll that into my skin and just really enjoy loving myself and massaging my face. And then when I'm done, while I wait for the oil to sink in a little bit, I'll just take a second to kind of close my eyes and relax and do a very short meditation at my altar. And then when I'm ready to be done, I use this Alchemy & Co. Clarifying Tea Tree Mint face spray. I don't think this actually really does anything for your skin, but it does smell like super good. I love tea tree scent. It feels really refreshing on my skin. And yeah, that is all. So after this, again, you can kind of do whatever you want. You can have some more extended meditation time if you'd like. You can do some spell work. The last time I did this ritual, I actually worked in my grimoire. I started doing a drawing in there. You can do whatever you feel like. A lot of times I just go lay in my bed and I like watch relaxing YouTube videos and stuff like that. Sometimes too, it's really nice to have like a glass of tea or hot chocolate afterwards too. And yeah, so that's all I have for you guys today. Again, I hope that you guys are able to take this and kind of adapt it for your own practice, so that it works for you and it ends up being something that you enjoy. I really love doing this. Sometimes it's a little bit too much effort for me with my depression and stuff, but if I can get up the energy to do it, I always feel awesome after, and I usually have a really good week too. So thank you guys so much for watching and for subscribing to my channel and liking the video. I really appreciate it. It really helps my channel grow, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!